When we decided to move to Puerto Rico, I was pregnant with my second baby. So I had an almost 2-year-old and I was expecting my second child. We ended up having the baby in Idaho, and then my husband moved to Puerto Rico a month later, and then I came a month after him. As you can imagine, being 8 weeks postpartum, you have a lot of hormones going on. Like, I was just not myself. I landed here in Puerto Rico. I'd say I experienced a little bit of culture shock. Everyone was speaking Spanish, right? And I just didn't know Spanish. That alone was overwhelming. It was very different than my little small town Idaho where I was living for the previous, 3 years leading up to this experience. My husband picks us up from the airport at like 10 o'clock at night, and the next day at 8 o'clock in the morning, he has school. And so he's just gone all day, every day. I felt very lonely. I felt very scared. I felt very uncertain. In my heart, I felt a lot of peace because I knew we were where we needed to be. It was just like this foggy time. Like I didn't know how to talk to people. I didn't know how to get anywhere. And I will never, ever, ever forget my first Sunday here in Puerto Rico. I walked into the women's class at our church. Everyone was so kind. They were saying, bienvenido, talking to me in Spanish. And I just smiled like an idiot because I had no idea what was going on. I was on the verge of tears. I was just trying not to cry because I was so overwhelmed. But I will never forget the first person who talked to me. She came up to me. She said, "Hi, how are you?" I was like, "I'm good, how are you?" She said, "I speak English." I was like, "Oh, that's awesome. I do too." Clearly. Good one. And she said, "But I want to teach you Spanish." And she wrote her name down on this little piece of paper, wrote her address down, and wrote her phone number and said, "Come over to my house tomorrow and I will start teaching you Spanish." That interaction forever changed my life. I remember going home and just crying and telling my husband, God bless this woman. I don't even know how to pronounce her name. It wasn't just, it was a very unique Spanish name. She told me to go over to her house. She said I could bring my kids. I'm gonna go, because why the heck not? Going over to her house, it was so special. She was so kind. She got out these pieces of paper. She laid out a blanket on the floor for my baby. She wrote down different Spanish phrases on this paper. I copied these phrases. We read books together. She put Spanish lessons on the TV for me. And then she went ahead and made me a traditional Puerto Rican lunch. That was the first time I ever had sorullos. This lady did not care where I came from. She didn't care what language I spoke. All she cared was that I was a human who looked like I needed help. And so this is your reminder today, where if you see someone in need of help, please help them. Please. I love this lady and will for the rest of my life. I hope one day I can find a way to repay her for everything that she's done for me and my family.